Welcome back to Talking About Blanks, the show about the show where if you'll fill in the blanks, we will talk about it. As always, I am Zach Stroud and this is
Josh Quinn.
And yeah, it's been a little while. It's been over a year since we recorded a podcast. And this one's going to be a little bit different than any of them that we've done before, as the entire episode will be British themed. We'll be talking about behind the scenes stories from our film sessions, as well as some of our least favorite products, most favorite products, America versus UK chocolate, as well as some of the things that we would like to do in the future, and we'll answer some viewer submitted questions. But before we get started, we will try this PG Tips tea, and we're going to rate it on our very British scale of bloody disgusting, not my cup of tea, UK okay, lovely, or oh my days. So without further ado, PG Tips. I think it's decaf, right?
Yeah, it is decaf. Pinky's up.
I think I can do that.
Yeah, it was a little complicated.
There we go. Wow.
It is tea. Tea it is.
I like that better than some of the flavored ones that we had before. I don't remember what that brand was.
Yeah. Is Yorkshire a brand?
Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Yorkshire
I didn't
Gold.
know if that was like a city or just a
toast and jam. Yeah, that's very good.
I like it.
I
like it
think
too.
I would give this a lovely.
This is a lovely. I agree.
Along with that, we also have Fox's classic cookies that we'll be trying periodically throughout the episode.
Yes, one of them has caught my eye. It has jelly in the center of it.
I think that is a Jammy Dodger.
I'm ready for that Jammy Dodger.
So let's get started on our topics. You know, how we got into British taste tests. So we've not always been a UK British taste testing channel. We have a good friend of ours who also does content creation. His name is Mr. H. And so shout out Mr. H. We've done a couple of videos with him in the past with things that are either British or American related. And we had the opportunity last April to meet him for the very first time. He came from the UK to Florida, and we drove down to Florida from North Carolina and met up with him, and he brought us some British sweets and snacks.
Yes.
So do you remember any of the snacks from that taste test?
So the crisps, I remember quite a few of those. The termite crisps.
Twiglets.
Yeah.
Your fave.
Oh yeah, definitely love those. Those are definitely a go-to. Just kidding. Maybe there's nothing else laying around the house.
Yeah. So, you know, he and his wife brought us some sweets from over there that we'd never tried before. And if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the very first time that we've had an assortment. We did do an episode like 2 years ago where we tried some stuff, but that was just a one-off. This is really what kick-started everything. So among some of the other snacks that we tried that day were Rainbow Drops, the little rice cereal type snacks.
Okay.
They kind of melt in your mouth. You don't remember those?
I don't remember those. Was I even there? I know I was there.
Terry's Chocolate Orange.
Yes.
Tried that for the first time.
Yep.
Didn't realize until after the filming of that video that we actually have those in the US.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw some in Lidl, I think, the other day.
Rhubarb and custard squashies.
Oh, that's one of your faves. I've heard that a few times.
I was extremely impressed with the rhubarb and custard because that is not a flavor profile that we get over here ever.
Yeah, never even really heard of that. The only time I've ever heard of custard is when I walk in like Pizza Inn or something like that.
Colonel Custard.
Colonel Custard. He's the KFC dealer, right?
Yeah. So that's really where our love for the taste test began. And we were like, man, like with the exception of just a few Twiglets, all of it was really really good. And so we're like, man, there's a whole world of things that we have not tried.
What are those rings? Those onion ring type things?
Hula hoops. Salt and vinegar hula hoops.
Wow, the crunch on those.
So that's really where we got into, this is something that we want to experience a little bit more of.
Yeah.
And so we came back and we did a couple of other videos in our improv comedic thing, but then we really started getting into the taste test because we found out in the city that we live in,
Lies. A local dealer.
there's been a local dealer for like 2 or 3 years that none of us knew about somehow or another. So we decided when we got back to town that we'd pay him a visit and see what it was all about. And boy, were we
Man, have they come through.
impressed.
Britfix.
Yeah, so Britfix of Goldsboro, North Carolina, the official sponsor of the UK Taste Test.
First official sponsor.
Pretty nifty. That really got kicked off with our vlog video that we did. I put out a Facebook message to them asking if it would be okay if we vlogged in their store, and they saw the video after it was posted, and they were like, hey, we want to partner with you.
Man, this guy really knows what he's doing. Sure, we'd love to have him in the store.
Yep, and so that's really where that got started. And so now they give us a discounted price on all the items in there, allow us to try them on our channel. And so it's just been a really, really awesome partnership. So once again, we'd really like to thank and shout out Britfix of Goldsboro for being the local dealer to our UK Taste Test. One of the episodes that we started with Mr. H before we got into the taste testing was the British slang. So Mr. H lives in that neck of the woods, and of course we are over here in North
Across the
Carolina.
pond.
And so he sent us over an array of British slang words to see if we could guess what they meant.
And we did okay.
And we failed miserably. You're remembering incorrectly.
I thought we did all right.
So gobsmacked.
Yeah,
That is
tribute
not a
band.
That's not the combo of gobstoppers and Godsmack. It's also not when you get slapped really hard in the face.
Not that.
Knockered.
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 Yeah, that's like extremely tired.
Knackered.
Knockered. That's those balls that you crawl into and slam into each other.
So that was a really fun episode. And again, that's just, the partnership with Mr. H is really where all this kind of steamrolled and began. And ever since we've started this, it's been a ton of fun, and we're really appreciative to all of our new viewers, and we welcome any and all suggestions for future episodes.
Absolutely.
that you might
We
have.
live off your comments sometimes.
So before we move into our next topic, we are going to try our first biscuit of the day. We sincerely apologize, as obviously we were under the wrong impression.
We are uneducated swine.
I was under the assumption that you only ate biscuits with tea if it was a plain biscuit, like a digestive that didn't have anything on it. So when we tried our Christmas biscuits, we were so generously and gently informed in the comment section that all biscuits require tea, regardless of how they are packaged and presented. And so today we will be trying all of our biscuits with our PG tips.
Yep. After we dunk, we'll taste.
So I do believe this is a Jammy Dodger.
I hope so, because I like that name.
So it's got some jam, it's got some cream. So let us dip. Oh, and don't forget, you're limited in the amount of dips that you have.
Oh, yeah.
Or it will crumble.
Yes.
We're also learning that, dipping biscuits in tea is much different than dipping cookies in milk. So maybe 2 or 3 dunks
All right.
and a bite.
1, 2, 3. Makes me wonder what it would taste like, just the biscuit. But I'm gonna keep dunking because I know what's best.
Better.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's lovely.
I'm gonna go lovely also. I like the tartness of the jam.
If it didn't have the jam,
Yeah,
it would be a not my cup
Yeah,
of tea.
yeah.
The jam really pulls through.
It reminds me of that tea that we had with the jam in it. What was that tea called?
Biscuits and toast and jam, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the more that I sip on this, I'm moving this to all my days. This is impressive. It's subtle enough that it just kind of gets the job done.
We also seasoned it with milk and sugar.
Seasoned? I don't know if that's the right
We
word.
added milk and sugar to supposedly make it exactly where it needs to be. I
And
guess.
you'll also be proud of us as today's tea was not made in a pot on the stove. It was made with a
kettle.
A kettle.
A tea kettle.
A kettle.
Yeah.
Man, we're
moving up.
we're trying, guys. We really are.
Can we get a pat on the back, maybe?
So anyways, while we're talking about it, let's go ahead and talk about the mistakes that we've made so far, like not trying things the way that they're intended to be tried, such as, all biscuits require tea. The first biscuit episode we did was completely sans tea, and so a bit dry.
Yeah.
And we were a bit harsh.
Yeah.
And so were you. But we quickly learned.
Yes.
Biscuits,
Tea.
no ifs, ands, or
Biscuits.
buts about it.
Yeah.
But that's not all we've tried the wrong way. Christmas pudding.
Yes, we definitely
Still
did that.
fresh.
Did that wrong too. I guess we should have put. So what they call it? What are they? The cream that they put on top of it?
Cream
Yeah.
and brandy.
Okay.
It could be single or double cream.
Okay. I wonder if their double cream is the same thing as like sweetened condensed milk, because that's what is it sweetened?
So I did get some clarification from a viewer. If I find the comment, I'll put it on the screen here. It apparently what they refer to as cream is like sweet and low, not sweet and low.
Like sugar.
No, just creamer, like
Coffee creamer?
I guess
like
so.
half and half?
I get half and half. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, half and half.
Okay.
So
Dude, it's got to be even better. We got to turn y'all on to this, maybe. Maybe.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna make a suggestion. Sweetened condensed milk. It's like a cream. It's really, really thick. So, and I mean, it's so good to me. I could like pour it out the bottle into my mouth. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, if we'd tried that the right way, would it have had a higher rating than Bloody Disgusting?
Yeah. I think so.
Probably, but
It was not my cup of tea. I believe I voted.
it was. You were the only person
Only one.
that voted not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Because apparently you just like to eat heated, mushed raisins. You'll do great when you get to be 75. Your palate will already be ready.
Whatever keeps me regular.
Yeah, for sure. So, we're learning our lessons, step by step along the way. We're very appreciative to you guys.
We're
for setting us
babies. You got to
straight.
teach us.
We don't always do as much research as we should, probably before we
Yeah.
start an episode, but that's a part of the fun too.
Yeah.
It's just figuring things out as you go, and we wouldn't get to know you guys nearly as well if you weren't able to correct us.
Did
So-
your mom and dad ever yell at you before you put your finger in the light socket, or they just let you do it?
What a great metaphor. I'm going to try this long.
I'm gonna try it with you.
I'm not really sure what this is. It looks like it has some chocolate cream on the inside.
It smells good.
So yeah, Fox's classic long chocolate cream cookie is what I'm going to refer to this as. Dip. Hello.
Dude, that thing like melts in your mouth.
The tea.
I mean, seriously, it's like a Krispy Kreme donut. You know how a Krispy Kreme donut just disappears?
I love the outside of it.
That's a great cookie.
I'm going to give it another lovely. That's pretty great.
I don't know, man. That's pretty close to an whole
Really?
lot of days. I think I'll go all my days on that.
Wow.
That's a great cookie.
Impressive.
It is.
With that being said, we have, since we've started, adjusted our rating scale a little bit. We did put out a survey to you guys asking If you liked the original rating scale that we had, or we'd also gotten some comments that maybe a 1 to 10 scale would be better. It seemed like the majority of you guys like our original rating scale. It's unique. It's different.
Yep.
So we do enjoy it. But it started off just being 4 ratings, and we realized there was room or too much of a gap in between Bloody Disgusting and UK OK. So we added Not My Cup of Tea, and it's been used, I think, as it needed to be since we added it. So with that being said, we are learning as we continue to get deeper and deeper into our taste test that there's also a little bit of a gap in between Lovely and Oh My Days.
There is.
As we've started saying High Lovely and Mid Lovely. So when you start doing that, you know that you need something a little bit different. So
are we introducing a new word?
I'm not sure if we're going to introduce it just yet. I am going to put out what has been suggested and see if you guys have any further suggestions in the comment section. What has been put forth so far is, I got my tongue tied a little bit there.
Hear ye from this day forward.
Well, we're talking about blanks where, you get to see all of our mistakes. So one of the suggestions for that mid-level in between Lovely and Oh My Days was the word lush. So L-U-S-H. I did do some digging, and apparently that is a sexy or attractive woman in some ways. So interesting. So let us know what you think about the word lush. Do you think that would fit well in between Lovely and Oh My Days? Or do you think there is a word that could be a little bit better suited? So drop that in the comment section, and we'll see where that goes. We do definitely need an extra layer though.
I think so. That mid, high, low, Lovely, definitely room for improvement there.
So while we're talking about Bloody Disgusting and Not My Cup of Tea, let's talk about some of our least favorite products that we've tried on the channel so far.
Ooh, me.
Please open.
It's got to be like the Turkish Delight.
I also had that as my first thing that came to mind.
That's no good. Then the Termites.
Turkish Delight. It's an odd consistency.
Yeah, for sure.
The chocolate coating was good chocolate. I felt like. I'm not sure what the intent of the inside was.
That's the one that was really hard to break apart, right?
We had to cut it.
Yeah.
Because it's like gelatin on the inside.
Yeah.
It's like what the inside of a jelly bean.
It's like frozen taffy.
Or as you called it, hog fat or something. So that was definitely weird. Without the chocolate, I'm not sure it would taste like anything. But with the chocolate, it's just the marriage of two things that should not be together. Yeah. So sincere apologies to all the Turkish people out there that delight in trying that product, but we were not one of them. No. Something else, I'm sure you'll remember this one when I say it, the Maynard's Bassett's All Sorts.
Oh yeah, the assortment of all shapes and sizes of nasty candy.
Different rubber tires.
Excuse me.
That was not appealing.
Yeah, the black licorice taste is not for me. And I don't know many people that do love it. I do know some people that like it, but they're few and far between.
Yeah, I'm not completely opposed to all black licorice, but I think all the British black licorice that we've tried has just...
What was that one that we just tried that was...
No spoilers.
Okay, so that was the one.
Well, by the time this releases, it will have probably come out. It is the Pontefract.
Pontefract, yeah, the hockey puck.
Yeah, the Pontefract was black licorice.
Yeah.
But in case it hasn't come out yet, no spoilers just yet.
Yeah, all this will be bleeped
Are we
out.
sure this is decaf?
No, that's what the box said.
I feel just like a little bit like buzzed.
Really? Because I can really tell when I drink the other tea. But so far, I've drank like almost the whole glass, and I don't feel anything yet.
Yeah. Well,
maybe it's just because I'm 210 pounds and you're what, 170?
165.
Okay.
Yeah. So something else that was not very great, and I dare to say maybe it was the worst thing that we've tried, even worse than the Christmas pudding. This whole episode was a letdown and really discouraging because I had really high hopes for this episode, and I think everything was just a letdown. the soda episode or the
Oh,
pop.
dude, absolutely.
The bubblegum bar,
Oh,
that was horrendous.
I was like,
I will take a whole astronaut mug full of bubblegum medicine or Dimetap before I will drink bubblegum bar again.
because it has more taste.
There was something
the
wrong
medicine
with it.
has more taste, for sure.
It was really blue, which is, I feel like, unusual for like pops or sodas in that neck of the woods. And I don't know, just everything about it was not good. But almost every other pop from that episode was also bad.
Yeah.
The Shandy-Aid,
And they were different brands, two or three different brands.
So Shandy-Aid had the bar and the bubblegum. The
The bar and the bubble.
bar had
Sounds
Shandy-Aid
like a story.
and bubblegum. And
The Fox
then
and the Hound.
we had what kind of cream soda? It was clear cream soda from
It looked like a barrel of some sort. I can't
it's
remember.
an and. It's somebody and somebody else. And then we had real lemon with bits.
Yeah, that was probably the better.
That was probably the best one
one.
we had. But yeah, just a real big letdown that episode was.
It was.
Unfortunately.
And haven't we been told that those were just like rarity drinks?
Yeah,
really,
just
they're
kind of
not.
like off the wall, like things you'd find in like a general store. Not.
Or your
actual-
7-year-old would love them if they've never had a drink before.
Yeah.
And we're so used to those like high sugar, super high taste, all that stuff. So it's like we barely even tasted it in some ways.
So, what are some of your least favorites that you can remember?
Least favorites that I can remember. Well, I mean, you knocked it out of the park with the drinks. So those were all pretty subpar for me. The Turkish delights. Let's see. Trying to think of the ketchup chips. Do you remember those? That kind of
I liked those.
you liked them, but you got a 7-year-old taster.
That's one of those that like I was pleasantly
You should have loved the
surprised
drinks
by.
then, you know.
I don't know. I went into that with very low expectations because I'm not a big ketchup fan. I don't really eat ketchup on anything, so I was like, okay, this is gonna be not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And then I went into it and I was like, man, this is actually pretty good. So thanks, Josh. That's a great segue into our next topic. Products that we were kind of caught off guard by, like maybe we went into with low expectations and then we were pleasantly surprised by the
Okay.
results. You have anything off the top of your head?
So I'm not a huge mint fan, and I guess this one's going to be out by the time this video drops.
Might not.
Podcast drops.
Same episode as the Bonfract.
Yep. So the mint, what was that?
It was Main Street, Nestle Quality Street, Matchmakers,
Oh wow.
Mint, Cool Mint. Bam.
Yeah. Wow. Put that together.
Yeah. So it will be out by the time we talk about this because it's going to be this upcoming week's episode, so we can talk freely about the mint. Go ahead.
Okay. So that it kind of looks like a chocolate covered pretzel to me. That's what it reminds me of. But overpowering mint. It was like amazing, and that was kind of a shock that I actually really pretty much enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's unlike the mint flavored things that we have in the U.S., like say an Andes mint.
So strong, man.
Yeah, the strength of the mint flavor on that.
It's like you soaked it in.
Essential oil,
Peppermint
like
oil.
peppermint oil.
Yeah.
But it's very, very good. I think I even am quoted in that episode as saying that it was the easiest "Oh My Days" I've ever given. And I have since been munching on those, so
None for me tonight.
yeah, very, very good. I was very impressed by that, but I was not shocked. I think I even stated in the beginning of the episode, like, I'm holding back on the honeycomb ones because I knew I was going to give the mint one a strong if it was solid, and it was.
I almost knew you were going to do that too. Once you said I'm going to kind of hold back, I was like, yeah, he's going to really love
Unless
that
it
mint.
just had like completely like been a disaster. But yeah, so how about the British beans on toast?
Yeah, that was actually a shocker too.
We went into that with extremely low expectations.
Yeah.
Now, we've also been butchered in the comments again because we didn't use a knife.
Who needs a knife?
We're learning. We don't normally eat toast with
Beans.
silverware.
No.
So, yeah, we tried to just do the fork thing, but I also don't think we cooked the toast enough either, because it was a little soggy. And that's something else. Man, you guys really let us have it as far as when to apply the butter to the toast. All right. I don't know why we applied the butter before we put it in the toaster. Is that something you normally do?
So it depends on the butter. Like if you've got softened butter, which softened butter here is butter that you've left outside the fridge and it's more room temperature, you can put that on because it spreads just like water. But if you've got butter that's been in the refrigerator, then that's not going to spread. That's going to spread like.
Well, that's
kind of what we did.
That's what we did, and we kind of tore up the bread. And man, we just got lit up. Like, who puts butter on toast before they toast it?
Yeah.
So it's a learning curve, but
does it have any effect on the taste?
I don't think so. I think it's just the consistency.
That's true.
Like, you just tear up the bread before you can get started.
Why are you doing it that way?
So yeah,
I had a lot of people saying that.
When I think of beans on toast, the first thing that comes to my mind is not anything pleasant. And I think all of us finished our plates.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, I'd go for some right now, honestly.
It was good. And again, like the different things that you could do with it. Like if you put the butter, toasted it, and then, well, before you toast it, added a layer of cheese, and then added the beans, like I could definitely go for some of that. So that really shocked and surprised me because I was ready to give that one a bloody disgusting.
Yeah, there's like no way this is really going to be any good, and it's totally surprised us.
And while we're talking about it, teas, hot tea. I went in with low expectations on the tea.
Before this, have you ever tried hot tea?
No.
I don't think I've ever had hot tea or put milk in my tea.
And that was another thing, like when people said, like, you know, how to prepare it, the milk and sugar thing I was not expecting the additives. Like, I just thought you'd drink it straight. But when we actually started to try it, I was pleasantly surprised by some of the ratings that I was throwing out there.
And it's like we would almost retire coffee for tea. I think we both kind of talked about that. It's like we could totally substitute this for our morning coffee.
I have been.
Really?
Yeah, not all the time.
Yeah, I did it some right at the very first time when I began the journey of tea. But you know, now it's kind of like hit and miss.
And again, what was kind of clarified in the comments, so thank you, because the question was posed like, you know, is it UK has tea, US has coffee type thing? And somebody put it really, really well that, you know, coffee is for the morning and tea is for the evening. I think it's a really great way to look at it. I don't know if that's 100% accurate or not, but it kind of puts things into perspective a little bit. I know you're not going to agree with this one, but the Marmite Walker's crisps.
Not horrible.
Having tried the Marmite and the Twiglets, very low, like bottom of the barrel expectations, because even though we thought we had put a thin layer of Marmite on our toast, people were saying, like, you know, not even a minute and a half into the video, that's too much Marmite. And so I guess we were kind of spreading it like a jam.
Yep.
And it bit us. It wasn't horrible, but it was overpowering, the salt content. And so going into the tasting of the Marmite crisps, low expectations, because Twiglets had burned me already. But I'll have to go back and like show it at the bottom of the screen here like we do. But I think, like, I went back for more on a number of occasions out of that small little bag. So
Strange man.
the more I ate, the more I found my palate adjusting to, and I think that's what's been really cool too about like expanding our horizons with these taste tests.
Yeah. Never tasted some of these flavors before.
And as we've maybe like adjusted our expectations, the further we get into these taste tests, I think our palates are more accepting of some of the flavor profiles than when we first started. The Marmite crisp, if that was one of the first things that I ever tried for a UK taste test, I probably would not have been up for the task. But I think I've kind of grown accustomed to what to expect. Maltesers. So that's a fairly recent one.
Yeah.
I went in with low expectation for Maltesers because I was comparing it to a Whopper. I don't like Whoppers. They taste stale to me. Just not something I could eat a lot.
I mean, think about the box that a Whopper is in. It's not like airtight.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, those things aren't fresh. Not at all.
I don't think I've ever had a fresh Whopper.
Right. Well, I like the ones that are in the milk carton. There's some of those that, back in the day, I used to get those, and I love those.
Yep. I was so close to giving the Maltesers in all my days. But then I realized what took me so long to rate it is I was trying to rate it solely for what it is and not in comparison to something else. I was going to give it an all my days because of its comparison to the Whopper, as opposed to just rating it based upon the flavor profile in and of itself. So we did end up on a lovely for that. All right, why don't we try another cookie? This is the Fox's Crinkle Crunch Butter Dip. Dip, dip, and no more, or you're gonna lose it. Oh my days.
Really? The texture of that one.
Oh my days for sure.
This one is good.
That might be my favorite cookie. Oop, biscuit.
Almost missed it. Got stuck to my finger.
Yeah, I need more of those. More of those.
Oh my days for you?
That is all my days. That is very good. The texture, the taste, it's just subtle enough where it's not overpowering.
If we had a
It's
word
great.
that was in between lovely and oh my days, I would give it that word. So I'm just gonna go lovely on this one.
Awesome. Let's get into probably the most commented thing that I have seen across all of our UK test episodes.
Don't do it.
That American chocolate tastes like puke.
Man, I love the taste of some puke then.
So prior to filming British taste test, as an American who has only ever been exposed to American chocolate, have you ever once thought, this tastes like bile? This tastes like I threw up in my mouth and swallowed it.
Well, there was
With the
this
hint of
one
cocoa.
time. No, by far, no.
I'm not sure where that comes from. And I think even if I had only ever been exposed to British chocolate, which is, don't get me wrong, very good, I'm not sure I would get a hint of puke.
No, never.
With my American chocolate. Hershey's, Dove, which Dove is Galaxy. I'm not sure if it tastes the exact same, but I do know the branding is the same, so I guess it's the same parent company across both. And so that's one of the things that we do want to get into as a series, is comparing US chocolate to their UK counterpart, blindfolded. So
Yes.
it's unbiased.
Yep.
No cheating allowed. Somebody hands us a Dove chocolate bar, somebody hands us a Galaxy chocolate bar, and we try both of them blindfolded. Say which one we prefer and rank them on our scale. Depending on what the results are, we might make some people mad, but I do think that would be an interesting way to kind of delve it, because there are some Cadbury UK products that exist in the US. Very limited though. And I think that's something that maybe our viewers don't realize, is just how limited the Cadbury selection is over here.
Yeah.
Obviously different recipes, different factories, but we don't have all the specific fun bars that you guys have, like the flake and the twirl and all that kind of stuff. We've got the Cadbury egg.
Yep. Cadbury cream
at
egg.
Easter.
Yeah.
That's really on a wide scale level. If you were to go into a Walmart or a grocery store, that's about all you're gonna find. We don't
The caramel cream egg, I've seen that one too.
We don't really have like Cadbury chocolate bars all over the place with all these different subgenres.
Yeah.
And so every Cadbury product that we try on our channel comes straight from BritFix, straight from local dealer, and all those products come straight from England or wherever they come from on that side. So it's not something that we bought in a shop here in the US that, you know, is being passed off as a British chocolate.
Is there like an American store over there where you just get like our products over there, where
Yes,
it's like, here's a Snickers bar made in America, and they're full because nobody gets them because American chocolate tastes like barf.
Yes, and the prices are outrageous. So I don't know if you've seen it. Mr. H actually found an American shop somewhere close by where he lives, or maybe it was in London, I can't remember. And he went in there and vlogged his experience, and some of the prices were just astronomical. You're talking about like a little bag of Cheetos for like $5. I'll have to tag the video. It was really interesting to see like what we would pay $1 and some change for was like $5 plus. Reese's cups, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting, you know, when you look at it in that perspective, like that's just the norm. Like when you sell products from another neck of the woods, like in a different region, there's going to be an upcharge for the shipping costs and, you know, what all it took to get it here. Plus they've got to make some sort of profit as well. So talking about Cadbury, I'm really excited because coming up very, very soon, we will be doing a Cadbury UK elimination tournament bracket. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pit 16 UK Cadbury products head to head and make one by one eliminations until we have, in our opinion, decided the very best UK Cadbury product that exists.
Champion UK Cadbury product, whatever it is, it's going to be good.
It's going to be an extremely fun episode. It'll be a little bit different than, you know, a little bit different setup than what we normally do for our taste test. It will probably be a little bit closer to this type of scenario where we're sitting on opposite sides of the table. We'll have the bracket come up, eliminated along the way. Some of these products we've tried before in a taste test. Some of them will be completely new to us. And we'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek here. I do have all 16 confirmed products for the taste test.
Interesting.
On Talking About Blanks for the first time ever revealed today. So in no particular order, as we won't be announcing who's going who's going head to head with one another just yet. But the 16 contestants are the Flake, the Double Decker, the Dairy Milk, the Wispa, Dairy Milk Caramel, Fudge, Dairy Milk Whole Nut, Crunchy, Curly Whirly, Boost, Dairy Milk Fruit and Nut, Picnic, Twirl, Orange Buttons, Dairy Milk Marvelous Creations with popping candies, and last but not least, the original Dairy Milk Button. So we will be determining from those products what the best one is. It's going to be a really great episode, so stay tuned and be on the lookout for that one. So with that being said, we will start to close out today's episode. We hope you have enjoyed today's tab. This is something we'd like to get into a better routine of doing on a regular basis. So by all means, drop in the comments anything topic related you'd like to see us talk about or special themed episodes, and we'll try and make that happen. Josh, any closing comments?
I appreciate y'all waiting for us. Yeah, we'll eventually make it happen.
Yep, so all that leaves us to say is this has been Talking About Blanks, and certainly no one asked for this.
But wait, there's more. Still got that itch for more blanks no one asked for? Click that bottom left video down there to see the content that YouTube thinks would be the best for you.